I am already at peace, Grand Inquisitor. Are you? Suros, what are you doing? Why are you here, Inquisitor? Do I know you? My own brother returned home. I never dreamed this day would come. My own sister returned home. I never dreamed this day would come. Surely this is some trick of my mind. I did not expect to see you again. I would like for you to stay here in our camp as my guest. This is a missionary, same as I was, taught the wrong things as I was. If I can't have faith in one man's ability to reason, once he knows the truth, what hope do we have? This is a missionary, same as I was, taught the wrong things as I was. If I can't have faith in one woman's ability to reason, once she knows the truth, what hope do we have? We have many former missionaries here. They are our most loyal, our most helpful. Many have died for us. These are not people we should be turning away. And if the Inquisition wants my life, they can have it. But they know as well as I do that my cause will not die with me. Come, we have much to talk about. That should make him less of a threat, wouldn't you agree? I have nothing to hide. All I see here is an opportunity to persuade someone who could help us. That should make her less of a threat, wouldn't you agree? I have nothing to hide. All I see here is an opportunity to persuade someone who could help us. This is a missionary, same as I was, taught the wrong things as I was. Osionis. They have held off many would-be invaders. I am ready to hear one from you. Hello, brother. It has truly been ages. Hello, sister. It has truly been ages. My old pupil. You are a welcome sight, but a worrying one as well. Do you still wander lost in the darkness after all these many years? Hello, old friend. The ages have been kind to you, I hope, so my love returns to me at long last. You've come back. I had thought to have set you on the right path ages ago. Or did I merely fail a second time? You are so different now from who you were then, yet much remains the same. Old troubles with a new face. What is it that has brought you here? Only if my existence were painful would my sentence bring me suffering. My Punisher's assumption says more of him than it does of me. I have had time to make my peace with all possible fates. There is little anyone could do to cause me distress now. But your threats are unnecessary. I will help you now as I have before. So the universe wills it then. As likely a reason as any. A gallant gesture, if a bit misguided. And yet I suspect there is more to this than you have said. I'd hoped after our last discussion you would find what you sought. Has it eluded you all this time? I can only guess your presence here has something to do with Theos. The energy of this place changes when he is near. I don't know what he has done, but I do know of the souls that pass through here now. They do not come by choice. After all this time, he would still stand against the tide. I can see his influence, still hanging like a weight about your neck. So it always was. He had inspired something in you. We spoke of him the last time you were here also. It was just after the trial. You were agitated. I think because you started to consider that what I was teaching may have been true. What I taught was that the gods whose faith we had been spreading were not gods at all, but something else entirely. Something created by people. I never thought of it as faith, But I think you are right to call it that. Let the world see. Let them decide what to do. That was my faith. They were conceived by Engwydd, a society of high minds and broad concerns. Theos's people. In their time, every people worshipped its own gods. Sometimes they warred over it. After a few wars of their own, the Engwyddans sought an end to it. They devoted all their energy to finding the true creators. It shook them, this finding. If they could discover this on their own, how long until others would? How long before war and chaos reigned over a world without consequence? But they had mastered many things in their pursuit of these answers. And with their mastery, they crafted their own gods to fill the void, and sent missionaries to the corners of the world to spread their faith. I became a missionary because the gods brought me hope that I wanted to bring to others. For a time, the truth sent me to a dark place. Then the day came when I realized nothing had changed, that I still had a purpose, and the purpose was the same and it was worth living for. I began questioning the other missionaries in public, exposing their parlor tricks. In time, their following became mine. The Engwyddin missionaries all knew it, but they never told the rest of us. They meant it to be a secret that died with them, and in the end, they allowed their bloodlines to fade from memory. I had been assigned to join a few of them at a temple. I found the door to their chambers closed, but the room was stone and the door thin. Their voices carried. I heard enough. I investigated the things they spoke of, and everything was there, just as they said it'd be. You asked me this once before. Nothing I can say would be any proof, and it may be certainty your soul craves. Resolution. But if you are bound for the same place Theos directs these souls, you will see for yourself, as you once did. Everyone faces this truth at one time or another. Few confront it. Few have the stomach to ask what if. And in avoiding the question, they deny themselves an identity of their own. What if all the tragedy, all the persecution, came in defense of an impostor? What if it were forbidden knowledge rather than fault that earned your doom? What of your guilt? What if you had always been alone, without guidance? If all our common threads are spun from a lie, what's left to bind us together? What if our burdens come to us not because they are meant to be, but because they happen to be? What if even mastery over all things cannot answer the most basic of questions? What if the cycle of birth and death is nothing more than a tool of endless preoccupation? What if neither guide knew the way? How then would you choose a course? The power of the gods is undeniable. The truth of the story they weave is not. And what if the fires themselves were lies? Lies you told yourself to bridge the gap between experience and truth. The freedom has always been. It was the guidance that was the illusion. There is bliss to be found in the things we create, but sorrow as well. Every creation bears the imperfections of its creator, and its creator's creator. Art and song are creations, but so are weapons and lies. We must be careful that our creations do not consume us. You don't need to. Everything you choose to do in light of it will be your answer. Yet strength is not given, but earned, and always in proportion to its cost. What will you sacrifice for yours, and who will pay the toll? It may be that our greatest barrier to peace is ourselves, that as long as there is an I, there will be needs and conflict and suffering. But for that reason, the peace you speak of is one that no man will ever feel. Is that peace? Or is it emptiness? A question is a journey, and a journey is what makes us who we are, it's true. But when one journey leads only to the next, Then where may one find rest? We both know at least one other who would agree that none should know the truth. He condemned heretics by the thousands, yet it was only he who was truly faithless. I pity him the burden he bears. He carries it alone needlessly. I wish he would allow himself the relief of sharing it. But he underestimates everyone. The wheel would seem to grant us little choice in the matter. Yet surely we are capable of more than mere endurance. Surely when the truth is laid bare to all, this suffering can truly be overcome, that the gods aren't real. I will tell you what I remember. Generation after generation, they prodded and worked the stitching of the world and unlocked its secrets. One day, they found an answer. Except the answer was no answer at all. There were no gods to be found. Or if there ever were, they were gone. You speak of her deceptions, but what of your own? Was it her words that led you down your path? Or was it the absence of her words? A gap that you filled with your own broken thoughts. It is no offer of mine, this reality. It exists whether you accept it or not. And these things you speak of, these ills in need of a cure, ask yourself, if the gods had no influence, would these things exist at all? Or would the world be better off? Threads spun from falsehoods tend to unravel on their own, my friend. For it is in our natures to seek truth. What if your body is destined to outlive your purpose? What if some things can never be recovered, and no greater good comes from their loss? You may have little choice in the matter, but as to your purpose, that choice is yours, and yet you may never know a world other than this one. Free yourself from all of it, and there may be nothing left for you. All things pass in time, even influence. What if their purpose then? The world marches forward without so much as a backward glance. Will you be able to do the same? All things pass in time, even memory. What if their purpose then? What if no God had the authority to relieve our burdens or absolve our sins? Many are the names of those who have died in despair, waiting for the help of the gods. Power it may have been, but not the power of a god. I ask these things not to trouble you, but to show why they must be confronted. No answer is simple, but somewhere between them all lies a truth so beautiful, not even a god could conceive it. Do we not owe ourselves a chance to find our part in it? If that is truly what you believe, then you are a far different person than the one I knew. I've been alone here with my thoughts for so long now. I've found peace with my failures and with my punishment. I no longer curse fate for what might have been. But there is one thing that has clawed and scraped at my mind all these years. One thing that will not be put to rest until I know. Until I understand. I knew it was a risk, taking you into my camp. I knew you still had strong feelings. In my pride, I'd hoped to channel them towards faith. I had always hoped our friendship could be mended, that time would heal it. Some things, time only worsens. Optimism has always been part of my nature. For all the things I believed, I also had to believe that my brother could be my brother again one day. Optimism has always been part of my nature. For all the things I believed, I also had to believe that my sister could be my sister again one day. I failed you in many ways as a teacher. I've always regretted it. Perhaps I got what I deserved in the end. I never wanted that. I had hoped that what I taught would replace your beliefs with something that made you stronger. For many it did, but not all, it seems. I think maybe I suspected. I just didn't want to believe it. Not from you. When you showed up at my camp that day, I thought it would be like it had been before. I was careless. If you resented me then, I bear the blame. I know my flaws. I suppose I knew they'd get me into trouble one day. Good. Good. The things I taught, the things I believed, I needed to hear that. I needed to know it wasn't because I've always looked up to you. since we were children. You had heard both sides, seen everything. If not you, then who? I expected dissent, but I needed to know that true faith would prevail. Perhaps I've been wrong to place so much importance on one person's actions. It was all I could do to feel like there was an answer. You denied me a chance to know your reasons. And even if you hadn't, some part of me would always know it didn't truly answer what I wished to know, nor will an eternity of silent contemplation. I will have only my guesses and suspicions, and that will have to do. Even knowing what you've told me, some part of me knows it doesn't truly answer what I wished to know, nor will an eternity of silent contemplation. I will have only my guesses and suspicions, and that will have to do. And what of your understanding of our past? Are you at ease with the choice you made? I have always forgiven you. Though I didn't know your reason, I knew you. I knew we had had something wonderful once. Looking back at that has helped me through these many years. I have always forgiven you. Whatever your reason, no quarrel of ideas can sever ties of blood and essence. No parting of ways can erase memories of times without worry. Times when even without gods, we were never truly alone. There is nothing to forgive. The fault was always mine. I led you down the path that led to Theos. When I tried to steer you back, it was too late. To have taught someone wrong is far worse than to have done wrong yourself. Long have I wished to make amends for this, but the time has long since passed. You have always had my forgiveness, no matter your reason. There are circumstances behind that reason we all share. Knowing that, it is difficult to hold spite in one's heart. At first I thought this might be the source of your soul's anguish, but now I see I was mistaken. You are not divided on this matter. You have put it behind you. It is with Theos that your agony lies, in sun and shadow. Your questions are not for me, but for him. And it may be that only an answer from the mouth of Theos himself will satisfy your needs. Yet if there is anything I can tell you that would be of use, ask and you shall know, in a matter of speaking. This is Braeth Yamen, the court of the penitents. Souls are confined here until they repent. They must beg the forgiveness of a god, pledge their soul to them, and they will be lifted from this place to the world above. In truth, they receive leniency, but not true mercy. The spite of Woodica is eternal. They linger above, at the side of the old court, and are not permitted to leave the island, forever severed from the cycle. This prison was full once in the days of the Inquisition, but time weathers all things, even will. I'm the only tenant who remains. Yet, I feel their presence strongly now, as it was in the beginning. You have brought many of them here. They cry out for the judgment of Theos. You have struck some bargain with the gods, then. They aid you because they would bend you to their own purposes. Engwith built gods from ideals, and an ideal on its own is a grotesque and vicious thing. But these souls, these forgiven the gods have bequeathed you like chattel. They were loyal followers in life. They will be with you to the very end. Last time someone asked me that, I was bound to an iron wheel with a broken spine. There are many things I've come to doubt about the choices I made in life, but that trial was my one moment of certainty. Even without a chorus of gods to tell me I had been right, the gods need to be reminded that we have a spirit, and that spirit is proof against their power. They have the power to manipulate and confuse and ruin us, but not to change our will. I will remain here until the world crumbles and fades from existence with joy in my heart, knowing I've shown them what they truly are. Better to be on no side at all. Woodica may be the most dangerous of the gods, but make no mistake. Engwith built gods from ideals, and an ideal on its own is a grotesque and vicious thing. I could not say for sure. But you have been to Sun and Shadow before, and it came at a crossroads in your life, when much of what you knew had been upended. I have to believe it will come to you there. Your concerns then were of loyalty and trust and the gods. Everything I told you seemed to send you further into doubt. He cares only for the secret he keeps locked away. He destroys anyone who might discover it, no matter their chances. That's why he's always favored Woodica. It isn't in her love of promises or justice. It's her disregard for the rules. Her willingness to do what is necessary. To Theos, she's not a deity, but an ally with which to conspire. When her power waxes, she does as she pleases with this realm, as well as hers. And she wants that secret guarded as much as he. If Theos succeeds, there will be a shift in the balance of power among the gods. Woodica was vanquished once, when the other gods decided she had gone too far, and her power diminished. With this infusion, there is no telling what she will do. The only certainty is that there will be chaos in their realm, as well as ours. You will not find a more resolute being on all of Iovara. There is no offer you could make, nor spell you could cast, nor pain you could inflict that would make him reveal what he hides. But I see you have become a watcher in this life. Perhaps in defeat, when he can no longer defend himself, you might learn something from him. Theos will not wait for you. If you do not catch up to him now, you may never find him again. I am grateful you came and found me here, no matter the circumstances. You're not exactly who you once were, I have to remind myself. But seeing you one last time, and remembering what we shared, brief as it was better than anything I dared hope for in this place. Come, there is one thing yet we must do before either of us finds rest. I suppose I have waited long enough, and I do not wish to delay you any further. Come, let's be done with this once and for all. I am ready. If ever we should meet again, in this life or any other, I hope to find you at peace. It is a cruel fate to wait all this time to be reunited with my only brother, only to be forced to part soon after. But then, what is life but a series of brief encounters with those we love? It's a cruel fate to waste all this time to be reunited with my only sister, only to be forced to part soon after. But then, what is life but a series of brief encounters with those we love? It was good to see you again one last time, old friend. I thought I'd seen my last friendly face long ago. For my part in leading you to Theos in the very beginning, I hope you can forgive me. I hope whatever final guidance I've given you here proves more useful. Your soul deserves an end to its suffering. I'm sorry I wasn't able to grant it myself. May it come to you swiftly. If I were to help you, though, I would do it on one condition. The souls you carry, I would see them freed. Their souls for mine. The way to sun and shadow is cloaked in unnatural darkness. Only its Audra lanterns can light the way. It will cost you some of the souls you carry. Please, even imprisoned here, at least I do not live in ignorance. At least my purpose was formed by truth. Do not make me give up all I have fought for. I'm aware of the folly of trying to learn so much from so little. I've had time to consider that in all its facets. But in the end, it was all I had. Maybe so. Maybe so. Of all that I loved you for, it was your righteousness most of all. I may not have loved you in the same way you loved me, but I loved you all the same. You were more than a friend. You were the only person I trusted. I always believed in your judgment. Never have I felt so confident in my beliefs as the day you arrived in my camp. You were a blank slate to me once, a blank slate that I had taught the wrong things. I'd given you a false faith. I had to know I could undo what I had done, redirect you to embrace the truth. We knew little of each other before you arrived at my camp. You might have been anybody, which is why your choice meant everything. So you never doubted, despite everything I'd told you? Or perhaps you accepted what I told you, but wanted to please them anyway. Either way is better. Was it really all for that? The esteem of the Inquisition. Woodica gifted him a great many things, but his ability to manipulate was always his own. All these years thinking about it, I don't think I ever imagined you did it without cause. This changes things. That is the thinking that has shaped the world, for better or worse. I often wonder that myself. If things had gone differently, if the world had taken my faith instead of the Anguithin's faith, would it truly be what I had envisioned? Release all of them there, and they will find their way back into the cycle. It is the freedom they were promised but never granted. I promise you, against Theos, I am more than their equal. So be it. I hope you will find it in your heart to set them free once they have done all they can for you. You, of all people, should be able to appreciate their need for rest. This is where we part ways, then. Very well. I shall not miss this place. Perhaps you are right. Perhaps there is a way to end this on my terms. I need to know why you chose to remain with the Inquisition, even after you'd learned the truth. Do you remember? His words mattered to you when you knew him then. After you and I spoke, you went immediately to seek him out. Perhaps you simply sought confirmation from the man you trusted. If something from that time still troubles you, it may be something he told you then, or refused to tell you. He keeps secrets better than any in this world. If I repent, all I have done has meant nothing. I never wished to bring you harm. I had thought that the truth would liberate you. Theos is gone. I never expected to see it. The world will not miss him. I hope his defeat carries some relief for you. It is more than I could have hoped for. You were right to convince me here to see it through. His knowledge weighed upon him across all his lives. A brief lifespan can be a mercy. Yet Theos allowed himself to be defined by that knowledge, and it consumed him. I do not believe that has to be the way for all, and she is the greater threat by far. She will not suffer this defeat passively. You must remain watchful, for you have surely gotten her attention now. I thank you for what you have done here, and for the lessons you have taught me. May we meet again one day. Do you remember when we were children, and the missionaries came to tell us about the gods? They told us we could see them in the stars. I remember when I was a girl, and the missionaries came and told us about the gods. They said we could see them in the stars. And we snuck out one night and climbed the watchtower in the old fort because we thought we could see them better from up there. I remember when I heard that, I snuck out at night and climbed the watchtower in the old fort because I wanted to see them better. That fort burned down a few years ago when we cast the missionaries out. It was the missionaries who set fire to it. They didn't want us to be able to use it. Shame. There was history in that fort. I always knew this path would have consequences, but I never wanted to see Kratom suffer on my behalf. I don't think I can stay here any longer. I am told the Inquisition is gathering an army, that they have sent messengers to bargain with rulers from distant lands. Kratom is not built to withstand a siege. If war is coming, I should be doing what Theos is doing. I will need allies. Allies in a stronghold that can resist an invading army. Osionis. They have held off many would-be invaders, and their king has no love of the Inquisition's faith. I wonder, would he listen? I miscalculated many things since this began. I'm relieved you weren't one of them. It's a good thing we didn't hang you. I confess, to renouncing a mistake. I confess to opening minds. He wears the robes of a Grand Inquisitor. Only my truth, then. No! Wait! Wait! I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to hear one from you. I confess to following a false prophet. Ulu. Then. Moeth. Ixi. Ana. Lava. Beyond seek. Brith. Ulikna. Athek. Worthen. Roth. Croak 10. Sakritu. Ixmaru.